As a moving business owner, your day starts with a plan. But what happens when your movers don't show and that plan falls apart? Last minute no-shows. You're left to bootstrap, jumping in as an extra body. Yet sometimes, even that's not enough. This isn't just a disruption, it's a barrier to your business growth. Introducing Moving Force, your on-demand moving team. With Moving Force, say goodbye to no-shows and hello to peace of mind. With reliable, on-demand staff ensures you're never undermanned, turning your operational nightmares into a thing of the past. Moving Force, where every day is moving day and every move is smooth. Empower your business and keep growing without missing a beat. Join Moving Force today and move forward with confidence.
All right, y'all. Welcome to another episode of Mornings with Movers. Mic check. Ryan, my mic is good.
I hear you.
All right. So that is a good sign. So getting back to the topic of Juneteenth. There was a strike not too long ago. About movers either not getting compensated properly on this holiday. Or so like that, where they didn't want to work, and it was like this really major moving company. So I was
really?
Yeah, that was crazy. But again, everybody, welcome to another episode of Mornings with Movers. I think this is like episode 99, but we are getting up there. And I'm Dwyght with Mack's Moving Training as well as Moving Force. We got Ryan Marsh with SuperMove.
Hello.
And so we're on the topic of right now going over this June 19th and why people, I guess, want to get paid more money. It's just, I get it. It's a holiday that was meant for people like myself. But
well, hold on. We're not gonna get, you ain't gonna be roping me back into some stuff like last week now.
So
it's a holiday that should be celebrated by everybody, right?
I don't know what to say about that, but
well, yeah, I mean, I meant it in a right way, not like, I don't know how to even say what I was gonna say, but like people like me should be celebrating for. See, I can't even say it, right? Like we should be. I can't say we because then what am I saying? We? Never mind. I'm done. But
where's Ryan going with this?
I don't know. I'm not saying I'm done. I'm done.
So now sometimes, you gotta have a little humor with a lot of that stuff because this day and age, honestly, just off this topic of, this particular holiday, there's a lot going on, and society's getting softer, just to put the word out there.
Yeah.
A lot of things are watering down. So like when people used to go in the military and get yelled at by these drill sergeants and, couldn't, didn't want to stay in it because, they were just getting chewed out and they just couldn't handle the pressure. Now it's to that point where it's super watered down. It's, you got firefighters who's putting their people through, these rigorous trainings to go into burning buildings and save people's lives. And again, they have to water down their approach as well. So it's just becoming a sensitive society in very many words. And hey, only thing we could do about it is just, I guess keep adjusting. Hopefully it's becoming more of a technology era, which, we knew this would be. And we start using that to our benefit. But not even to go into political conversations, but, the whole thing where I heard that they're going to be removing a lot of people that are gender conflicted out of the Army. Calling that a mental illness in a sense. That was pretty interesting of a topic.
So, yeah, on all the topics, Mornings of Movers, we're jumping down this one here is what it sounds like. But what I meant to say, Dwight, and hopefully I had time to think. I wasn't listening when you were talking, which I should have been. I was thinking in my brain here, but what I'm saying, everyone should celebrate the June 19th piece because to me, at least, again, this is just me speaking, it represents freedom, resilience, and the ongoing fight for equality here in the U.S., right? So I think everybody should. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. But
Yeah. No, and people should yeah, he done brought me back to this topic. Um
I said to clear the air on that. We can move forward though. If you...
no, so no, people definitely should be celebrating. I just don't think it's a day where necessarily we need to be missing work, you
I
know.
wish they put it on a Friday instead of a Thursday though. Like
Right? Like,
I know it's the day itself, but shoot, that makes for a long weekend versus a Thursday off. I gotta go back to the office on Friday.
mhm. Now I appreciate, like, especially with it being right after Father's Day. You already gave the guys are technically already off from Father's Day, just to come back 4 days later and have another day off. Jesus. Well, how much business we gonna lose in the summer? Too many days off.
I don't know. I personally, I don't know any moving companies that are closed on. I don't know. Maybe some do.
Need a last-minute fill-in or facing an unexpected injury among your moving staff? No worries, Moving Force has you covered. Our app instantly connects you with trusted, professional movers who are ready to step in and handle urgent jobs whenever you need them. With our reliable network of vetted experts, you'll never be left short-handed. What are you waiting for? Download the app now and sign up for free now. Your stress-free move is just a tap away.
You don't think they close on Father's Day?
No, I'm saying June 19th.
Oh, June. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no,
Well,
no.
Father's Day Sunday. I know there was moving companies rocking and rolling. I mean, we used to
Oh,
have
of
guys that were
course.
on the road during Father's Day and holidays. Like, you know,
Uh,
unfortunate nature of the beast, transportation. Those trucks got to keep rolling. Trucks,
yeah.
trains, planes, and boats. Man, they got to get to where they got to go.
So, but I hope everybody did have a happy Father's Day.
This is your first Father's Day, right?
Yeah, yeah. I
Congratulations,
definitely,
man.
I was recording my Father's Day experience, and then I was gonna, I was planning on posting it, and then as the days went by, I was like, God darn it, it's already too late. But no, it was definitely a relaxing day. Massage, spa treatment,
Dang,
just
you had
just
a I had a total opposite Father's Day than you did. You in the spa getting treatment. I'm out in a damn field cutting grass and moving rocks and tearing down sheds and
Yeah, no, I definitely got a lawnmower in my backyard. That was supposed to be one of those things I did that day, but I think I did half. The other half was going wait.
oh, you better not be that neighbor that cuts half his grass and shuts it down for another week.
Oh, it's probably been a week since then. But but every now and then I'll take the trimmer out and I, trim the bushes that get a little too high, but then I forget to go over it with a lawnmower. But it's a process. I feel like you can't just try to rush through that process. You need a day off. And what is a day off nowadays?
There ain't none. No, I do. I've got a process how I mow. I basically weed whack every other mow, trim up here and there, but I stripe my grass. So it takes time, definitely a little bit more dedication. I'm not just ripping. I got straight lines, two passes one way, two the other way, so you get that nice stripe pattern.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
I
you got
love it.
that. You got that good grass. I got to probably put some grass treatment in the
You can do it with
grass.
any grass. You can do it. I mean, it's a good workout. So I could obviously use a zero turn to do my grass, whatever. I've got a pretty wide push mower that has a 25-pound roller behind it. So every time I push it, it's just bending the grass one way, right? So you bend it this way, it's light. You bend it this way, it's dark, depending on the view. So get a little good workout, and it definitely looks good when you drive by.
See, it's like giving a person a haircut and going with the grain versus going against the grain. And I feel like with my lawnmower, it's very low where it's doing like a one.
You scalping that shit.
Yeah, like it's super low. And I'm like, so when I
Mine set at 4.
see, so I feel like when I'm cutting the grass, I'm like, geez, I got bare bone where I can see people's green grass that looks so beautiful to play in.
No, like, dude, you got your mower set so low that you even the smallest rock, you're gonna shoot that somewhere. I
Hmm.
run over baseballs and don't even know it.
Yeah. So, and I think I could raise it to a two, but
And
um, yeah, because the wheels does adjust, but I think I could raise it to a two, but I'm like,
I
even
would hope.
low.
Yeah, you're cutting your grass at 1 inch. You don't even have grass. You just have like this probably hurts when you walk on
Well, good thing I usually have boots or sneakers on, so I don't worry, worry about it. Uh,
it.
But hold on, let me make sure we share this post. Let's see. So, how's the traveling been going so far with SuperMove?
Actually kicks off today. The team is in Toronto, doing their thing, meeting up with customers and future customers in Toronto, doing their thing, spreading the mover love around. And I jump on board on Monday. So I'll be
Okay.
gone from Monday the 23rd until like I think July like 16th. Or
Okay.
no, I'm sorry, it's like July 22nd. So about a good 30 days worth of hitting the road. But we got a really, really tight schedule packed. We got everybody from Bill Whalen from the New York State Moving Association. We got Charlie. We got Tracy. We got Odeb with DN Van Lines. We're stopping by the ATA, do some podcasts, some content shoots there. So really excited to see where this goes. And we've had amazing feedback with companies of all sizes, particularly some massive companies that are like, "Hey, we want in on the action here." So I'm super super pumped to jump on this tour and mix up summer a little bit, right? Rather than sit back and trying to figure out what we're going to do, let's get out there and just crush it. So it'd be
Yeah.
good to be visible.
Yeah, I'm definitely trying to get my schedule a little bit more organized. I know my time management has kind of been all over the place recently, but I also feel like, whew, time management and then people just throwing stuff in your calendar that wasn't there, and that just throws your whole ordeal off. So I'm like, all right, I got all this on my calendar. I'm ready to get to work. I know what I need to do. I know what time I need to be doing it. And then somebody like, oh yeah, hey, can you do this? And you're just like, that wasn't really on my calendar. It wasn't on my to do.
That's my biggest problem is I don't say no.
Last minute crisis? We've got you covered. When your moving staff is short, Moving Force steps in. Instantly connect with a network of trusted movers ready to handle the job. Fast sign-ups, trusted network, reliable solutions. Don't let last minute issues slow you down. Help is just a tap away. Download the app and sign up for free today.
I'm getting better at it, but I'll have a full day lined up and then someone's like, hey, do you mind doing this? And it's like, absolutely. And then it just takes me completely away from the train tracks I'm supposed to be on. But I'm getting a little bit better. We talked about that many, many episodes ago about time management and what do we do and how do we do. I don't know if it was with Stephen Reed, maybe. I don't know. But
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's definitely like I said, it's getting better, but obviously I think if we have tight windows, such as like a 30-minute window to get something done, and then we go into the next project. I think that's where it becomes a little issue where you're like, hey, do we not have that 5 minute, 10-minute warm down period from this task to get to the next task? Um, and if we do have that 5 to 10 minutes, can we then use a bit of that time, like in between our task, to handle like small stuff? Like, let's say that, the wife wanted you to go grab something or whatever the case is, and that's part of that 5 to 10 minutes. Okay. Is that doable, or is our schedule so tight that we don't have that wind down period?
yeah, I'm on a mix there. There's some days that, at least during this time of the year, my schedule is not as wild and crazy as it is during non-peak. During non-peak time, like literally from sun up to sundown, there's something scheduled. During this time of the year, I'm trying to implement just because my ADHD and sometimes I just get, brain burnout. I've been trying to do like a hardcore 30 minutes, head to the fence, just getting after it. And then when that 30 minutes is up, my watch will vibrate. I'll take 5 minutes and just step back.
Hmm.
Then dive in for another 30 minutes hard, then 5 minutes step back. Seems to be keeping me on track. I feel like I can start a task and then boom, drill down and get it done. But then I also have kind of that 5 minute break before I jump into task two, three, four, or even jump into a call. So
Yeah, I think it's still challenging at times, only in my opinion, only because there's like your mind is always wandering. Like right now, my mind was wandering. And that's
yeah,
why I couldn't remember I thought. But nevertheless, it's like when you get into that task, you're like, but what if I could do this? Oh, snap, what if I could do that? And you're like, and next thing you know, that 30 minutes is up, and you're like, I just need like 10 more minutes.
Dude,
And
what I left out is, and I don't know the name of the sound. I downloaded this app a while back, and it's called Endel, Endel. And all I know, is you got to shake it. You got to shake the tree, is what it says. Shake the tree quick on the app, and then it plays this sound that's like it's a one tone, high, kind of a higher pitch, and it just plays for like 5 minutes. And you would think that sound would annoy the hell out of you, but at least for how my brain works, it like allows me to think super, super clear. So when I have those moments where like, I'm sure you might be having one now, but 15, 20 different things going on in the brain, you're like, oh yeah, oh, ooh, you're not even listening to me or who you're talking to, like your brain's just going crazy. I will actually put in a headphone and play that for like
mhm.
3 to 5 minutes, and it absolutely clears everything right out.
No, that definitely.
I'll have to play it. I play it on here now. I don't know if I can, if it'll let me do it here. I don't know. And it, of course, now it doesn't want to work. But yeah, no,
No,
I'll shoot you this app.
no, that definitely sounds helpful because even like if you listen to white noise, it leaves you to think, the endless possibilities out there. Like, oh, I'm just listening to rain, or I'm just listening to the beach, ocean crashing, and you're just thinking like, ooh, I wish I was on vacation right now. And and you're like, no, I need to focus. No vacation, hard work, dedication.
Oh, some of my best ideas though, like when I sign off and I get up on the four wheeler side by side or get on the tractor and start mowing, like I feel like that's when my mind I get some really cool ideas. I feel like that's when I solve the world's problems when I actually step out of this little box that I'm in 60, 70 hours a week and get to unwind a little bit. But
Yeah, I think I did. So what I found helpful for y'all that's out there that your for business owners that your brain is always wandering and stuff like that. Jot these ideas down on a notepad, in your phone because it's probably going to be easier to do it that way. Um, if you can speak text, that's 10 times easier than, writing it out because obviously the ideas go out your head quick as you're writing. Um, but if you can speech text, that's going to be easier. I didn't find audio recorders to be helpful because I don't like having to repeat and listen to my own self-talk for a long period of time. So, but speech text, you can always read it, later on, and you could be like, okay, well, hey, you know what? Let me send this to my email. Let me add this to some stuff that I'm going to work on this quarter. If it's small stuff, you don't want to overwhelm yourself and put out 80% of the output just to get 20% input. So be mindful of exactly what you're thinking about. And obviously, everything has a cost associated with it, not just physical monetary, but time value. So be mindful of everything you think about because half the time you may not even ever use that stuff. Prime example, I created a time tracker that took me days to get all the data completed properly. And basically I was trying to figure out in my earlier years of running my movie company how many hours I could allocate towards my staff, my in-house staff, trying to treat it like retail, where they're like, oh, retail, hey, we can give you 30 hours next week. And you're like, what, 30 hours next week? Why can't I get a 40? And they're like, oh, we just don't have it in our budget to give the 40. So I was thinking on that level of how they're doing that with every staff member, making sure they have enough money projected for the revenue that they're projecting to make this week. And I end up creating something like that for my moving company just to realize that after like a couple of weeks or a few weeks, it wasn't going to work because you're projecting with moving, you're projecting how much revenue you're going to make that week, but you can't really use that future week to determine how many hours because things are going to be adding into that list, things will be removed from that list. So then you have to go off the previous week's revenue. And now you're playing a week behind. So it's just kind of like weird. And that money's really gone from the week behind because that's payroll.
yeah.
So so eventually I realized that my model wouldn't work. And it took me probably a few days to create this model out because it was an idea that I was just trying to figure out something. And now I got probably very little input. So that was probably the 80% that got, no input.
I have 3 months worth of basically pay for my one business that basically sits in an account where if all hell hits the fan, if like whatever, some sort of disaster, whatever, we have to, you never know, right? So I have this little safety net for the business where say we take in $0 from now to the next 90 days, I can still pay my staff. Now, obviously, if we're not taking any money, why would I want to pay my staff, right? So, I got a couple little safety nets and blankets, equipment breakdown, things like that. I've got a little bucket for that. I don't know. I just think it's, but part of that was, when we started the journey, a lot of businesses and owners, or I say business owners will, at least from what I've seen historically, as money comes in, what do? They take it, right? They're buying the watches, they're buying the cars, buying the whatever the heck they may want to buy, right? But we kind of took the opposite approach. That first year and a half, we didn't take a single penny from the business. Just kind of, grew everything, grew the accounts and what have you, to put ourselves in a position where, hey, start of year 2, we can start taking some, a little bit of money out of the business, but it's not going to have an impact on really much. So, yeah, we just took a little different approach. I don't know if you probably can do that moving as well, right? But
Yeah, so with
I do
moving,
anything.
yeah, with moving, you could definitely allocate funds. I was a big advocate of Profit First, which is an amazing read. If you haven't read that book yet, I would definitely recommend it. But basically, it helps you allocate your funds into buckets. So every week when I was running my moving company, it was like, hey, after we got all of our money tallied up for the week on that Monday, as soon as all of the money hit our account, because we weren't really spending the money throughout the week like that, not in our operating account. We had line of credit. The line of credit is what we were spending out of. So in our operating account, all of our credit card money went into one big account. And at the end of the week on that Monday, or the start of the week, the Monday, we would allocate it into different buckets. We say, hey, 60 to 70% is going into our expense bucket or whatever the case is. Another 20, let's say 20% or whatever, 15 to 20% is going into our payroll bucket. And then we break the rest of it up to the point where all the allocations add up to 100% into its different bank accounts. So we had a profit account, a tax account, the payroll account, etc. So it was kind of like easier to make sure that we had enough for payroll, we had enough for our expenses, we had enough for a rainy day, and we had enough for Uncle Sam.
Yep.
And it always kept us good after a while. Now, once we started going through the winter, and it's like, okay, well, maybe we need to dip into our rainy day money because the winter is getting a little rough or whatever the case is, we have it available. And once I implemented that in the last 3 years of my moving company, it made a difference going into that winter where it was like, oh, geez, we got money.
Hey everybody, my name is Dwyght Mack with Mack's Moving Training. So we're going to be doing a move and a pack today. But before we go in, there's just 10 basic rules that we just need to know before participating with this service. So number 1, understand moving is a very, very stressful thing. The customer, they're uplifting their life from one location to another. They're having to call all these vendors and get all these suppliers in place so that basically they can make that transition. So their stress level is at the highest right now. We need to be a service provider that comes in and basically keep that stress level mitigated or very low. Come in as professionals and do our job the way we know how to do our job so that this customer is less stress during that move process. Number 2, be on time. First impression is everything. You guys showing up outside of the window rubs the customer the wrong way. It messes up the rest of the move process. Even if you guys do the best job y'all can do, because one thing was off, this customer's mood is just off. Go up and beyond, be there before the time, as long as they're okay with it.
Definitely read Profit First by Mike Michalowicz. It's a really, and normally I don't remember authors' names, but this is a book that stuck to me.
Must be a good book.
But I also am a big fan of listening to audiobooks because, again, our minds wander. So I don't know about you, Ryan, but me sitting in front of an actual book and reading it, I I just don't have the mental capacity to just sit there and just
I get 2 pages in and I'm like, what I just read?
So audiobooks you can listen to on a drive, you can listen to whatever the case is. And again, a lot of the books have a lot of fluff in it. So again, your mind is going to take in the most important parts of that audio and you will retain it. And some of the stuff that wasn't really that important will slip your mind. But again, listening to Profit First and knowing about the buckets, it was like, oh, geez, and then I listened to this other finance book as well, and it was telling me about all these important metrics and LTV and all this other stuff. And I was like, oh, that's important, you know? So, but listen to what encourages you, motivates you, get your day going. You want to, if something is stressing you out in your business, find a way to alleviate that stress. One of the things that was stressing me out was claims, and I know they were going to happen. That is fine. But the resolution of the claims is the most part that stressed me out. I knew that claims will happen. I wasn't worried about the claims happening. I was worried about how the claims are going to get resolved. So speaking to these customers and you're telling the customer, hey, so based on the damage, and the valuation you chose, you're going to get this payout. And then they are either stressed or they're fine with it. And you don't know which way they're going with, but you just don't want them to be stressed because they're going to start stressing you out. So I said, hey, you know what? I'll hire a claims company. And the claims company will handle that part of it. And now my focus is how to reduce the number of claims we get. So now I got that stress of the claims resolution off my plate, and now I can focus on positive actions in my company. And my day when I come into work for the day, it's all positive. I don't have to worry about necessarily putting out that fire or that fire. I just focus on there was a fire. How can it be prevented next time?
Like Smokey the Bear. Only you can prevent forest fires.
Right. So we did change the model up a little bit, y'all. So we are only doing a half an hour show so that we can bring the most impact that we can to you guys with the most value. Because I know sometimes y'all want to hear us, wandering on, jumping off topic and stuff like that. But
that's the best part. No, we do gotta get back on topic here, starting here soon. We've been talking about everything but under the sun but moving, which is cool though. I like that. It is what it is.
Yeah, so everything relates to business ownership, whether it's moving or just business in general. And your mindset is the most important thing. We're not here to tell you guys techniques about how to physically move a box, but we are here to tell you techniques about how to, feel comfortable running your business, feel comfortable in your shell as a business owner. Don't necessarily focus on what the competition is doing, kind of focus on what you're doing and being really good at it. But in order to feel like you're in your shell, you have to get in tune with yourself. So, again, if you're stressed out about certain things, if you're not in the know, there's industry events. There's people in these Facebook groups, the right groups that you could talk to about motivation. So we're just here to provide resources, drop some gems on maybe some things you guys can be implementing into your business. I highly recommend, again, Live Switch if you don't have virtual surveys and estimate stuff. And SuperMove as a great CRM. Now, of course, I got to take a tour through it because they've been changing some massive stuff around. But again, they have been doing their thing. And, obviously, Ryan, he could speak more to it. But they're amazing CRM if you don't have a CRM yet, or if you're just not happy with your current CRM person or whatever the case is. So I'll let Ryan speak on that part.
No, I just say that definitely we're separating ourselves from the CRM aspect, right? A lot of CRMs out there, but what we do is so much more in depth than just your standard CRM. So I would look at us as more or less the command center to run and power your entire business rather than just have that little segment of the CRM aspect. But yeah, man, it's super exciting. especially working for a team that has their foot on the gas 24/7. They do not stop innovating, and they will not stop innovating. They just won't. They're never comfortable, never happy with the end product. It's always going to get better. So just excited to be on the bus for this one here.
So what's a couple of highlight points that makes it a command center?
What's that?
What's a couple of highlight points that make it a command center?
Basic. So you know your typical CRM, right? It's just going to have your customer information, what have you. Yes, you can do some tooling and pricing and things like that, but between all the AI and automation, I feel like is what truly makes it the overall command center. It has every aspect that you need to run your business, from the financial end, from the cost to comp. So your standard CRM system does not have cost and comp. They don't have all those additional pieces. They don't have the AI, the automation, and things of that nature that we do. So to me, that definitely separates us from a standard CRM to a full-blown command center.
Yeah, no, and that makes a lot of sense because I'm a big
We can
believer.
handle any tariff. It doesn't matter what type of rate, this, that, however you operate, we can incorporate that into the system.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in making sure that there's a financial piece to the CRM because I was doing a lot of offline reports with my old CRMs to, make the financials make sense. Yes, you got the QuickBooks integration with a lot of these CRMs, but if you don't know, but if you have to jump between your CRM and the QuickBooks and reports that may or may not be in the CRM, and I know that I did a lot of demos with CRMs, and there's a lot of CRMs that don't have good reporting. And there's some CRMs that have too much reporting. So to find that healthy balance of CRMs and then find out, hey, I found the CRM, I heard good talks about it, but they don't have a variance report. What? They don't have a itemized report about, how many times, and again, this is QuickBooks, but they didn't have an itemized report where it's like, how many times did I sell a two-man job or a three-man job, or how many times did we do a packing job, whatever the case is. Not the revenue for the packing job, but the quantity of packing jobs.
Yep.
Number 3, make sure your team is in uniform, they're groomed, their hygiene is checked, because that's the worst thing you could do, especially going in a house. Customer could smell your guy from a mile away, and now, again, their mood is just thrown off. So make sure that you guys are in uniform, you're tight, you have uniform shirts, it doesn't look like, you have a laborer that's, hired from off the street. Presentation is everything that goes towards your first impression. Number 4, introduce both you and your partner when greeting a customer. Don't just go to the door by yourself, while your driver is unloading the truck, and introduce yourself. Actually have both of you there. Introduce yourself first, then introduce your partner second, and then, allow them to welcome you into their home.
But the quantity of packing jobs.
Yep.
And people be like, whoa, why do you need that? The reason why you need it is because basically if you know quantity wise how many packing jobs you're selling over the course of a month or a year, that can leave for room for improvement. That can tell you whether your packing has been relevant or irrelevant. You can even ask survey questions to your customers. What cost wise, did you think this was a reasonable cost for the service that you received? And even though you may be afraid to ask that question, it can open the doors to questions like, okay, maybe I could lower the cost. Maybe our margins are too high, even though we're still profitable. Our margins are too high. We can lower the price a little bit, or we can adjust the service that we offer to make it worth it. But you need to know this, and you're reporting to ask that next question.
No, there's a reason why we had 90% packing on every move that we did, right? We're able to track it. We're able to know. And it never used to be the case. We were, I think, less than 30%. But until you start tracking, until you have that reporting, if you were to ask me many, many years ago, hey, what percentage of jobs are you guys packing versus not? It'd have been a guess.
Mm-hmm.
Again, having those reports, including the variance, was critical for us.
So again, just be mindful when you're looking to your CRM that you have bullet points of what you're looking for. Don't just go in there and look at the bells and whistles because their job is to sell you, you know? So with that sell, it's like, hey, do you guys offer good reporting? How does your dispatch system look? Can I send text and emails to my guys? How quickly does a change go out? Is there any charges for automation? You know, you're like, oh, whoa, these are a lot of questions. Yes,
I think
because
my big, from what I see, is I would find what are the main things that you use in your current system that you love, right? Those need to be flushed out. What do you really like about how you're currently operating? And then what are the things that you wish you could have or you'd like to have or like to see? I'd be going into those demos with with those things ready to roll because what you do see is people, oh my gosh, the AI, the automation of this, of that, like, yes, I want it. And they'll make a jump, but then one little process that they've been doing for 30 years, we can still do it, but it's a little bit different. It's a new way to work that can throw everything off. So they'll find five things that they absolutely love, and there's that one little piece that's critical to them, which might not be that critical, but it's always a standout piece, right? It's always a little speed bump. So for anybody that is listening, I mean, find what you really love, write it down with your current space, with your current whatever you have. Find out what you really like it to do, or what you wish you could have, and kind of lean in that way. Um, yeah, I see that all the time
Mhm.
on all avenues, not just with us, but with everybody. People make the jump to another CRM system because they have this particular feature, and after 30, 45 days, they're like, "Oh my gosh, like yeah, that feature was cool, but I'm coming back to you, Ryan, because you guys actually had whatever the case may be." So don't chase the shiny objects, as Dwight said.
Exactly. So for y'all that again, Moving Force right now is live. We are live in New York and PA right now, Pennsylvania. So if you guys are looking for some movers for this weekend or so like that, we do have people available ready to go. So definitely just download the app and basically start booking away for the extra help if your guys ain't gonna be reliable, or if hey, you just need more guys just because you're going into a busy weekend. We are here either way. So download our app. We are on Apple right now, and coming soon will be Google Play. But yeah, so again, we are at the half an hour mark for us. So we're gonna stop it here. For those that have questions, you can reach out to me or reach out to Ryan, and we'll gladly assist you in whatever help that you may need. But for now, we'll see y'all next week. Ryan, did you want to say anything before we head out?
I'm good, man. I'm actually going to take a couple hours to myself here, get some stuff done around the house, and probably jump back online here a little bit because hey, June 19th got the day off.
Mm-mm-mm.
We're gonna
No day,
celebrate, baby.
no day off. All right,
No,
y'all.
there's no day. I'm on here with you. It ain't no day off. I had to get up extra early to make sure I didn't miss the podcast, and you were late today.
Yep. So, all right, y'all. We'll see y'all next week. Y'all take care.
Hey, we'll see you guys, man.